Are you the type of writer who thinks about their story's beginning before figuring out the ending? Whether or not that's the case, knowing the different types of endings you could utilize in your story can be super helpful. Stick around to learn more. Hey guys, Nour here, and welcome back to my channel. For those visiting for the first time, hello! I'm the fantasy author of the novel Divinity Falling. If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe for weekly writing advice videos. The ending of a story is just as important as the beginning. After all, a terrible ending ruins a good book just as much as a terrible beginning ruins readers' expectations. So it's not enough to write a good book, but get lazy with the ending. That's why today we're talking about the 6 different types of story endings you could write. First up, the explicit ending. This is probably the most common type of ending writers use, myself included. This ending is great because it wraps up every loose end. Any questions the reader has throughout the story or any plot holes are answered at the end of the story. We get to know exactly how everything ties together and why things have occurred. This is personally my favorite type of ending because I hate not knowing something at the end of the book. In fact, when a standalone book ends up not answering my questions at the end, I end up so angry. Next up, the implicit ending. This is the complete opposite of the explicit ending. In this ending, everything is vague, and anyone can interpret the story as they wish. I personally enjoy this type of ending in short stories since I don't mind not having all my questions answered by the end. I'm not as invested in the characters as I would be in a long novel, so the ambiguous ending isn't frustrating. Another ending is the twist ending. This is when the unexpected happens at the end. The reader thinks the story is going in one direction, but then you pull the rug right from under their feet and reveal an entirely different direction that they weren't anticipating. If you choose to do this type of ending, make sure you do so carefully, as surprising the reader can sometimes feel like you cheated. Then you have the tie-back ending. This is when the ending of the book ties everything back to the beginning. So all the hints the writer left throughout the book must come together at the end and form a clear picture. I enjoy this ending a lot in mystery and thriller books since the ending explains the beginning. The 5th type of ending is the long view ending. This is where you tell your reader a bit about your character's future. Will your characters find success? Will they get married and have kids? Will they have a happy ever after? This is the most common in romance books since readers want to see what happens to the characters. And lastly, the cliffhanger ending. This is usually done if the book is part of a series that entices readers to read on in order to learn about what happened next. Major plot points are wrapped up at the end of the book, but there are still certain aspects that are left hanging. Almost all of us are familiar with cliffhanger endings, especially in series. I love reading series, so I'm a big fan of this type of ending. However, I don't recommend doing a cliffhanger ending if you're writing a standalone book. Doing so just angers readers. This isn't exactly like the implicit ending, where you have everything vague and up to the reader's interpretation. This is laying plot holes in front of the reader and ending the story without leaving any hints as to how things could go on. So unless you're writing a series, I don't recommend this. So that's all I have for you today. I'd love to know, which types of endings are your favorites? Do you feel comfortable writing one type of ending but love reading a whole different kind? Let me know in the comments. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. I put out weekly writing advice videos that will take your story to the next level. Also, don't forget to follow me on social media to see what I'm up to from day to day and to chat with me. Also, before we go, I just want to give a quick shout out to Sarah Frayne and Lori B from my shout out tier over on Patreon, as well as all my amazing patrons. You are all so awesome. Thank you so much for your support. And remember, Nour for president!